נחפש אחרינו ונחקור ונשוב עד השם. נחפש
75 years ago, one saw all these qualities were fulfilled to a T in a way that we can't imagine. It's beyond human imagination, the cruelty of the Goyim and how they treated us. What's the connection? This is a nevuah written in the Torah. When somebody says, where was the Creator in the Shaya in the Holocaust, it's not a question of it. To the contrary, the Shaya, the Torah writes specifically that that's exactly what will happen to the Jews if they don't keep the Torah. And Rav S always used to say that there's no promise that there won't, it's a very frightening thought, but there is no promise that there won't be another Holocaust. There's no such promise anyplace. Hope. There's no such promise. He used to say about Eretz Yisrael, he used to say that in Europe they could run into the forests. In Eretz Yisrael there's no place to run to hide, there's no forest, there's only the sea. There isn't even where to run. There is no promise. What's the connection between Rosh Hashanah? So the Gemara says something interesting which has to be understood. The Gemara says, Tichle Shana Uklaloteho Kochel Shana Ubichoteho. Gemara in Megillah, page 31b. The Gemara says there, the year should end, the order that should end the curses of the year. Rosh Hashanah is a new year, that whatever was bad in the last year should now begin a bracha. The question is, how is the relationship, how does this mean that we leave these parashiyos that this is going to bring the bracha? What is it? How is this going to bring the blessing by the reading of these parashiyos? I don't know, one has to see the Meforshim. I want to propose a solution. Rabbeinu Yoina in Sefer Shari Tshuva says, how does if life is hard, difficult, how is a person supposed to relate to the difficulties? By the way, just to quote the language of Rashi in the Parsha, the Parsha speaks about... Oh, thank you very much.
Let's open the Vayela.
Because it's very, very difficult. The Parsha uses an interesting language, we find it also in Tehillim. A very interesting language. Loyal diseases. Not something that we would express in our vocabulary. Where is it? There. In Loy Tishma Lasis is called Divrei HaTeira Azoi Satsuv B'Seifa Azeh V'yiras Hashem Hanichbod V'Noir Azeh to fear Hashem V'hifra Hashem Es Makois that will bring you such makot that will be a pell, will be a wonder. Makot which are more than other makot. Makot Gedolot V'Ne'emanot. Faithful makas. What is faithful makas? What is ne'emanis? We know that it says about Moshe Rabbeinu that he was a ne'eman, he was trustworthy. What does it mean, trustworthy makas? How is a makas trustworthy? Ne'emanis. V'chaloyim royim, bad diseases, v'ne'emanim, and they're trustworthy. What is a trustworthy disease? So Rashi says, what is the meaning of ne'emanim? Ne'emanos v'yasrecho v'kayem shlichutam. Machlot, we can view them as we find the language malachei chavala. The Sforim speak about malachei chavala, angels of damage. Angels, a malach is a shlichus. He sent them a shlichus, and there's such a thing as malachei chavala, malachim which were sent to be chayvul, like a chayvul b'chaver. They're sent to do damage. That's their shlichus. So a machlo is a malach sent. We see it as a microbe, whatever we do. If it's not a microbe, the goof is out of water, whatever it is. It's a malach, it's an angel sent by Hashem with a shlichus. And the angel that sent this disease is ne'eman to his meshaleach. He does his shlichus b'namanis. He's trustworthy to do his shlichus. And he sent on a shlichus how much to make the person sick. And when he's even sent, sometimes he sent when to leave the person, or whether not to leave the person. A disease is a punishment sent from Hashem. We think when somebody is sick, we think it shouldn't be. There's something disorder here, something out of order. The Torah says there's nothing out of order. It's the hefer trying to punish him. When he's unhealthy, it means Hashem now decided to punish him. So when a person is healthy, he says, Yibani Shalom, thank you. Even though I have all these aveiros, you're giving me a chance. Erech HaPayim, you didn't yet decide to punish me. It could be one day you might stop to the Erech HaPayim. Like it says, Marech HaPayim, the Govi delay. Hashem is Erech HaPayim, but not forever. To a certain point. But so what should happen when a person, Chas v'Shalom, has difficulties? So is there here the Sefer of he says like this, he brings two psukim. Thank you very much. In Shar Dalet, what you'd give it. So, with a problem, in Timtzas Achoyte Klo, a problem that happens to Metzorah, if he accepts the din of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yatztik Olav es Hadin. What does it mean, Yatztik Olav es Hadin? It says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're righteous. I'm sure relative to my Chatoyim, you're being Mufrachah. The Yekabel HaMusa Ba'ava, he accepts it with love. Hashem knows what he's doing. This itself becomes a protection from other Yisurim that might be planned to come on him. In other words, the Shlichus, the Malach just began his Shlichus. He's them to fulfill it totally. But Hashem has the power, he's the Mishaleach, and he can, like he said, he can tell the Shliach, come back. You have a Hashaleach Hasager, you can be Mavatal the Shlichus, you have Beetle Shlichus. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can be Mavatal the Shlichus. When is HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mavatal the Shlichus? When the Shlichus begins, and the person says, I'm sure, Ribono Shel Olam, that I deserve this. I'm sure that this is, and that you're being the customer for Rachamim, and I accept it with love. So then, this itself becomes a protection from the rest of the Yisurim which Hashem had on his agenda to give the person. And this is, he says, this is written in the Pasuk, in Tehillim. Ki chamas odom toideko, when a person thanks for his suffering, chamas odom v'chema, the anger of Hashem, which is expressed to the odom, toideko, brings about, rather than a complaint, an appreciation from Hashem and a gratitude. She'eris chema, she'eris is Lashon she'erit. What's she'erit? She'erit ha'pleita. She'erit is what's left over. She'erit chemot, the rest of the anger which Hashem was about to express and didn't yet express, tachto. Tachto means he takes it back. Peirish, kashetzar ha'odom yodeh otcha. When the pain of a person brings about a gratitude to Hashem rather than a complaint, then the opposite is. The rest of the anger which was about to come, it will be this thank you, this gratitude will be ma'akev, and Hashem won't bring it. Then he brings another pasuk. Anyway, the idea here is he brings another pasuk in Yeshaya. If I thank you, Hashem, when you put out your hand upon me to punish me, and I am accepted with love, Yoshoiv Apcho, you return your anger, Utrachmeni, and you be menachemi from the tzara. You reverse your attitude of anger. And we have this pasuk, you know. But we have a pasuk we say always in davening, 3 times a day we say it in davening. V'hu rachum yichaper avayim, v'lo yashtiz, V'hirbol hashiv apoi, he very often returns his anger, hashiv apoi, v'lo yo'ir, and he doesn't awaken all his anger. V'lo yo'ir kochamasai. These are these two psukim. What makes Hashem not to awaken all his anger? That's lo yo'ir kochamasai, that's chamas odom toideko, she'emes chemes tachka, that he leaves the rest of the anger inside. What makes him to be Meishav Apoi? Oivcha Hashem ki anachtabi, Yoshuv Abcha, he returns, Meishav Apoi, he returns his anger to Nachameinu. Somebody wants to see it inside. This is in Shari Tshuva, Shari Vi'i, on the letter Yud. But I'll go upon him, I think that this is the concept of reading Pashas Kisova specifically before Rosh Hashanah. We're standing before Rosh Hashanah, Yom HaDin. The din can be, all sorts of things can be awakened at Yom HaDin, all sorts of punishments. So we want to, before the punishment of the din, to accept the din Shemayim. The reading of Pashas Kisova is accepting with love the Klolos of Hashem and believing that it's the Tayyip. That acceptance of the Klolos, that will make that the Hashem will bring brachas on Rosh Hashanah and Achor. They're being makdim, the Hakdoma, that a person is matzdik the din of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That need that itself is mevatel the din. That's the Hakdoma, that's the Amkis, the depths of Chazal that specifically they made before the Yom HaDin to read Pashas Kisov. Just to last to go into even the Yom Tov of Din B'Simcha, they didn't make it the Shabbos before, they made it two Shabboses before. But that's the Pashas, that specifically, it's not just a coincidence, Chachamim were metakin to read the Pashas Kisov before. That's from one angle. The emes is, it has to know that Chodesh Elul, Chachamim, the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, very fascinatingly brings 3 remozim in Pasuk for Chodesh Elul, which tells us what our avodah has to be in Chodesh Elul. The first Pasuk, we mentioned this already before, I think the last time I spoke here, in the Pasuk in Mitzovim, Umor Hashem Elokecha Eslavovcha V'Slavav Zarecha, that La'asad Lavai Hashem is going to uproot the evil from the hearts of human beings. And these 4 words, Eslavovcha, Eslavav, will circumcise your heart. Circumcision of the heart, the Ramban says, is the uprootal of evil, the Yetzer Hara. So Eslavovcha, Eslavav, these 4 words, the first letter, Es Levavcha V'Eslavav, so it makes El. Es, Aleph, Levavcha, Lamed, V'es, Levav Zarech, El. This is a remez into being tshuva. But then we have much more famous the remez, Ani L'Doidi, the Pasuk in Shir Hashirim, Ani L'Doidi Li. I am to my friend, and he is to me. Chodesh Elul, also the first letters making Elul. And then he says the third remez in the Megillas Esther, Ish l'rei'eu u'matones le'vyoinu. Man to his friend and gifts to the poor. Is also Elul. So these 3 remozim are merames because Tshuva, Tefillah, Stoka, Ma'avirim, Esroya, Hagzeirim. One has to be Isaac in these 3 things. So let's see. Which one is tshuva and which one is tefillah? Tshuva, of course, the uprooting of the evil from the heart, that's tshuva. Ani l'doidi li, that's the closeness to Hashem. That means outside of everything else. In Elul, there's a special, this is this time that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is korev, and a person here, and Hashem hears the tefillas. I've based in the Eide Chareidis of Tuvi Weiss, say always sent over a story. There was, in the war, there was what was brought to England, kinder transports. Tuvi Weiss was part of this kinder transports. They brought children from the countries occupied by Germany to save the children, so a certain amount of children they took in to save their lives. England took in to save their lives. It's kinder transport. Tuvi Weiss was one of these children in this kinder transport. And the king was King George at the time, I think. He came to visit the children that came in. all the covered Malchus came to see the children they saw that England sort of sweet adopted the say from Hitler. And when he came into the children, a child, 12 years old, was standing, he said he remembers like the kid was standing next to him. He jumped on the chariot of the king. Jumped and threw himself at the king. And the guards wanted to take him away. He said, no, let's see what he has to say. He said, I want to thank the king for saving my life. But my parents are still there. What kind of a life will I have if my parents will be killed? I'll be a child without parents. Save my parents that I should have a life. What kind of life will I grow up without parents? I need my parents. And the king let a listening ear. He asked them, who are your parents? What's your name? And where are your parents? And in a few weeks' time, the parents of this boy were together with the children of this king. He would say that to realize, Dirshu Hashem b'motza, Kro'u b'yosei korei. When the king goes out of the palace, anyone can approach him. When Hashem is in the so to speak, in the kisei, he's sitting on his kisei hakavod in the Malchus in Shemayim, you have to pass through the angels, and you can't get it. That's impossible to go. When the king is being matzah, and he's korei, you can go directly to the king. It's a different, has a different prayer. That's Chodesh Elul and Tishrei. It's different. You can approach the king directly. There aren't all the gods in between. That's Ani v'doidi li. One can ask from Hashem tefillah, and this is because this is directly connected. This concept is directly connected with tshuva, because Chazal say like this. Abo l'tayer v'sayin oisem, bo l'tamei hoischim. Hashem Yisrael. Gemara says when a person comes to learn Yumid of Mamad Chesed and Beis, when a person comes to be Mitayeh himself, Omer Rish Lakish, Ma'idich Sid, what's the Pshat and Posik? It relates him who Yolutz V'anovim Yitei Chelek. Rashi says very interesting. You think in Leitzim who Yolutz, he comes and wants to be a Letz, so Hashem lets him be a Letz. Rashi says, what is the meaning of being a Letz? Listen closely to this. In the Leitzim who Bolet Chaber, if he comes to be a friend of Leitzim, then he comes to make Litzonis. Life, a person is a, how does the Rambam, how does the world say? Man is a social director. If you want to be mitaher or you want to be mitamei, it doesn't make a difference what you want. Who are your friends? Which chevra do you choose to be? Bo tamei, the Gemara says, he chooses to be in the friendship in the round leitzim. The shevet b'yoshvei kronis, to sit with leitzim. Leitzim are those that express in their way of life that life has no meaning. They make litzonis of life. They waste their time. In the leitzim ubolet chaber, who yolitz, what you know, he won't prevent him. In la'novim, what is la'novim? He wants to befriend those that have humility, those that humble themselves in front of Hashem. Ubolet chaber, he wants to be mitchaber la'novim, yitin le'imchem, that's called bolet taher. Bolet taher, the Gemara teaches up, explains bolet taher, that he wants to be in the chevra of anovim. It means a person can't do himself. A person wants to be oila b'madrega, he has to put himself with b'nei aliyah. He wants to, if he wants to be oila b'madrega, but he puts himself with leitzim, so it means he wants to be leitzim. A person doesn't function from himself. He has to put himself in a chevra, in a social environment. If he wants to be mitkadesh, he has to put himself in a social environment of others which are mitkadesh. If he puts himself in an environment of Torah, it doesn't make a difference if he says, I want to be Mekadesh. That's choosing Torah. That's called the Leitzim who don't have the Bechira to go totally against his environment. His Bechira is in which environment to put himself. That's his Bechira. He can't say, I did my best. He has to choose where to put himself. I'll go upon him, So the Gemara says this is so. In this Gemara, you think Chaim is like a lachon. If you come to be to change yourself with Toiv, you get a special siyata d'shmaya, help from Hashem. Ball the time the science. How much is the siyata d'shmaya that you get? Let's talk about another Gemara. The Gemara says like this: Pischli petach. It's a medrash, not a Pischli petach techudei shomachah. Open me in your heart, an opening like the aperture, the opening of a needle. How many millimeters a needle? I don't know if it's 1 millimeter. Let's say it's what, half a millimeter. And I'll open you an opening in your heart, like the entrance to the Ulam in the Mishkan. How much was the entrance of the Ulam? The Ulam was 20 ams. So figure out how many half a millimeter goes into 20 ams. Approximately, let's say Shira Chaim, approximately 20,000. The ratio of how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu asks from the person to do and how much siyata d'shmaya Hashem gives him is 20,000. Times 20,000. Pischli petach techudei shomachat. The ratio of an opening of a needle to 20 amos is about 20,000. 20,000 times the size. 20,000 needles you could put in Pischli shomachat. Possibly. I mean, so much siyata d'shmaya in this. He doesn't ask the person to do everything himself. That's because, but there's a catch. What's the catch? When a person comes to be metayeh, it's bemet magiyalo b'mishpat to get the Ezer Hashem. Neither connected neither. He wants to be metkarev. There's a ma'ir, it awakens in Shemayim. Hashem goes out to meet him. But immediately comes the Satan to be mekafer. It's ma'ir Satan. Hashem comes to be metayeh. Satan comes and says, does he deserve this help from Hashem? Maybe he doesn't deserve it. The Satan, wherever Hashem comes to give him a tonah, the Satan is there because the Dachi Hashem is mishpat. So the Satan comes to be mekatreg, and that's why it says, when did all the Piranius, if you want a marshal, when did all the Piranius, all the suffering of the year begin? On which day of the year? Rosh Hashanah. Hashem praised the year of his tzidkis, and then the Satan came to be mekatreg. The Satan comes on Rosh Hashanah. Because on the third after in Rosh Hashanah, when there's the din, the Satan comes. So when a person is me'oyer, a change of a hog in Shemayim, he's chayzer with tshuva, comes the Satan. What's the Eitzer negative the Satan? The Eitzer against the Satan is tefillah. That's why a person has to be mispalel. You have to, if you want, the tshuva of Elul goes together with Hari L'Doidi L'Doidi. It needs the help of the tefillah. It has to be mispalel. And a person does the two things together. He's ma'oira, he awakens himself and he wants to strengthen himself. And together with that, he combines with this the act of tefillah. So that's it. He has two very strong cards in his hand. And Bolataya, he has the schus of siyata d'shmaya, and the tefillah takes away the kitrut of the Satan. And then she gets the siyata d'shmaya. When he gets the siyata d'shmaya, that's a whole totally different world. Because what happens? It's like a positive spiral. The person is aware to be retired. And he can't do it. But then Hashem sends him a ruach tayyib. And Hashem sends him a ruach tayyib. He takes this spirit of purity and he has more strength. So he does more. He does more, so it comes another ruach tayyib. He uses that again, so he does even more. And that's how it gets to Pischli Shalom. He keeps on going further and further and further. But to get the ruach tayyib, he needs as well tefillah to ask permission. So that's Ani L'Doidi L'Doidi. The third remez, the Chodesh Elul, has to strengthen himself and the Nodem Chaver. Of course, it's connected Stocker. But before Stocker, there's basic Nodem Chaver. You know the Maimer of Rabbi Akiva, basically, there's another Maimer in Chazal that says exactly the same idea. What's the Maimer? Famous Maimer. Hillel used to say, if I don't help myself, who's going to help me? But, in other words, everything depends on me all the time. But, like we just now said before from the Rashi and Yuma, Keshani la'atzmi I can't do it myself. Kishani la'atzmi mo ani. I can't do it myself. And this is double. I can't do it myself without a Kodesh Baruch Hu. I need the help of Hashem. But also, I can't do it myself without being in the right chevra. Ani la'atzmi. A person lives with his chevra. And if he doesn't, and if he's not, when he's la'atzmoi, then he's nothing. La'atzmoi. He can't be la'atzmoi. But in a different way. V'haftarecha k'maycha is a hakdama to relating to Hashem. What's the pshat? If a person is sitting next to his father, and he doesn't have any feeling for what his father is feeling, he didn't train himself to try to feel what another person is feeling. He's involved in himself. Is it possible that he senses a Kodesh Baruch Hu in his life? If he doesn't, let's make a kal v'chayim. If he's so involved in himself that he doesn't sense somebody that he can physically feel and see next to him, how could it be that he senses the Bari Olam that he doesn't physically see? In other words, how is it possible that Reuven tells Shimon about his problems, and Shimon just stays there? It's an intellectual piece of information. It doesn't move him the keys. It doesn't move him in his heart. How come? Because he's involved in himself. Because he's totally in his own group. And that's the posture that the Pasuk says, the taiva, the vakesh nifra. The taiva is for a person's involved in his own taiva. He's nifra, he's separated from the other. Noisei ba'oil, in one of the Midrash Ateri Nuktas there. Noisei ba'oil chaveira. That's connected with the concept of the haftarecha k'maycha. He can feel the problem of somebody else, he can share somebody else's problem. That's not just the way. That's a hakdama to be makias better. To sense, because ruchnius, all ruchnius is connected with breaking out of oneself. If you don't break out of yourself, there's no Kodesh Baruch Hu, there's nothing, there's only yourself. To see the Bari Olam, you've got to break out of yourself. The chinuch, the education, the educative process for a person to break out of himself, which is all Avodas Hashem is based on that, is first begins with Bein Adam Chavei. The beginning of Bein Adam L'Makom, that the sense that there to be makir is bayra. Then like it says, Ben Avram ben Shalosh Hikir is bayra, is mitzvah. It's not a mikra that the Av that brought the Hakor of the Bari Olam to the world. Avram Avinu, who brought to the world Hakor Asat, it was a Bari Olam, his midah was midas HaChesed. It's not just a coincidence. That's Chesed means that you see the other one. Like Avram Avinu seeing the other one, he saw the other one until he saw the Bari Olam. Until he saw that there's a Bari Olam, that's the other one. He broke totally out of himself. The beginning of Avodah is not to be Atzma. That's Ishrei Elu Makom Saviyah. The Tshuva of Elu also depends on Ishrei Elu Makom Saviyah. Sometimes, in the strong Avodah Bein Adam L'Makom, sometimes can be lost to Bein Adam Chaveiro. It's Mefurish in Chazal. Chazal speak about Yom Kiddushin. It speaks about a tzaddik ra and a tzaddik toiv. Now we go the other side. So it's a rule, so the Yom Chaver is the most important, but it's not true either. Why? The Gemara speaks about a tzaddik ra and a tzaddik toiv. It speaks about a Rasha ra and a Rasha toiv. A bad tzaddik and a good tzaddik. A bad Rasha and a good Rasha. So what's a good tzaddik? He's good in Bein Adam L'Makom, he's good in Bein Adam L'Chaveiro. What's a bad tzaddik? He's good in Bein Adam L'Makom, and he's not good in Bein Adam L'Chaveiro. He's good in bad tzaddik. What's called a good Rasha? He's bad in Bein Adam L'Makom. He's a Rasha. He's a good Rasha because he tries Bein Adam L'Chaveiro. A bad Rasha, he's bad to people, bad to Kodesh Baruch Hu. So the Mashal points out. It's a Kiddush on the Notice that. Kiddush. But the Mashal points out, the Mashal points out that the name Tzaddik and the name Rasha is not, you could say it the opposite. Maybe say that the guy who's bad in Bein Adam L'Chaveiro, call him a Rasha Toiv, because he's good in Bein Adam L'Makom. Call him a Rasha Toiv. Now you see that the name Tzaddik and Rasha are not on Bein Adam L'Chaveiro. The name Tzaddik and Rasha Bein Adam L'Makom. The shot is like this. Why? Because that's the Yisod. He has a Muna. The tzaddik Ra is called a tzaddik because if he has the source of it, if he believes in Hashem, so he has a conscience. And if he believes in Hashem, the end will be, it will be very strong. His Bein Adam HaMokum, the end will bring him to Bein Adam HaChavei as well. Because he has the foundation. But a Rasha Toiv, why is he called a Rasha? True, he's not a Bein Adam HaChavei, but if he doesn't have the relationship between Hashem, there's no conscience there. He doesn't have the Yisayim. The end will be, he'll be a Rasha Ra. So he's called Rasha Hashem Soifer. Because the Yisayim is Bein Adam HaMokum. But the two things are true. But the way to get the tzidkis, to improve on tzidkis, is to work on the other. The name tzaddik is munach ha-Bein Adam HaMokum. But the kli, to be oila the tzidkis, is Bein Adam HaMokum. Shani va'atzmi mo'ani. Because the Bein Adam HaChavei is mechanech a person to go out of himself. We say that Rav S that he was meeting one of the Yereim once upon a time, at this time of the year, were very, very serious and very, very worried. So we're very worried about Yom HaTov. Why we should have something in 1,000 of it. So Rav S passed him, he was a Yereim. And he was so involved, he didn't notice Rav S didn't tell him hello. So Rav S said, what is he chayav? What is he obligated? Why does he have to suffer? Why does he not have to do? What does it have to do with that he's worried about Yom HaDin? What's the reason why not to tell him hello, to not to notice him? One thing has nothing to do with the other. It's not supposed to be one on the cheshbon, one on the cheshbon of the other. It's not the Adam HaMokum, his daig of din doesn't push away his chiyuv towards the Adam HaChavei. One more message here. The foundation we it could be a shmuz and tzapah. Kiyah shvarim tuah kiyah. The shvarim tuah represents. The shvarim tuah represent. That's a kiyah. The shvarim. The shvarim tuah say that as Miloshin. Shvarim is a krechs. How do you say krechs in English or Hebrew? A sigh of pain, and tuah is cry. On the other hand, the kol pshut of kiyah is a kol of simcha. The shvarim tuah represent the bitterness of tshuva. When a person breaks his heart and regrets, he's in pain, and he's rochik from Hashem. But if you just shvarim tuah, being shover the way, breaking the heart is always dangerous. It has to be sandwiched with a tkiyah lefaneh and a tkiyah lachrei. It needs a simcha before and a simcha afterwards. You can't have mariris alone. Mariris alone is a dangerous thing. You have to sandwich the mariris of tshuva with simcha. Tshuva the simcha. The tshuva, the simcha before is the simcha to do tshuva to get close to Hashem. So he has the tkiyah for now is when a person is a bolet taya in the sinus. When a person thinks he's bolet taya, that he's close to Hashem, he's going to get siyata l'shmaya, that's the tkiyah for now. Then there's the shvira salei. But then he has to be minded the kabbalah tshuva. But Hashem will be mekarev, and Hashem will accept this tshuva. That's the tkiyah achrev. The tkiyah for now is the bolet taya. The preparing to get the siyata l'shmaya from Hashem. Then the shvarim tuah is the tshuva, the mariris of tshuva, the life nishpa v'nitka l'kim l'sivsa. But then after breaking the heart again, one has to have emunah v'tochen that Hashem will accept the tshuva. That's the kiyah. That's the kiyah lachler. That's seder tshuva. One has to sandwich the shvira salev together with tshuva. Tshuva is also like it says tachas hashkoyran v'tacham hagecha. The simcha to leiva, a person has to do tshuva mitoch simcha. Tshuva is also mitzvah, all of Hashem's. Tshuva also has to be done with a simcha that one is zeicha to do tshuva. That one is zeicha, that one has the merit to be mitkalef to Hashem.
נחפשה אחינו ונחקורה ונשובה